Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Strixhaven draft here on the channel. Before I dive in, I want to remind you that if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment with your questions, thoughts, and feedback. Also, check out the Twitch stream live at twitch.tv/NicolaiBolas, and if you'd like to support my work directly, you can do so via the Patreon at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. Okie doke. So starting things off, I don't think that Pestilent Cauldron is super powerful. Restorative Burst is okay, but overall not a card I'm going to really be starting with a lot of the time. Professor of Symbology is absolutely fantastic, so we're going to be taking this. I did rank up into Mythic off stream. I wasn't recording. I was just kind of trying to get familiar with the set, and I was just really trying to hone my skills and get actually improve, which is sometimes hard to do when you're on stream because you can't just focus on the gameplay as much. But I'm in Mythic now, so we're going to be doing our best to climb the Mythic ladder, which is something that I haven't been doing recently because I just haven't been playing enough to get to Mythic. But Professor of Symbology is excellent. Heated Debate is also good. Eliminate is good. And Elemental Masterpiece is actually very good. It's a very high win rate card. One thing you may see me doing that I've been doing a lot while I've been climbing or doing things is looking at the 17 lands data. So the data I have here right now is average taken at, which is where the card is taken on average, and then games in hand win rate, which is the win rate when the card is in your hand or drawn. So it's a pretty good metric to use if you're trying to figure out how good a card is. So for example, I'm going to take Divide by Zero here. Divide by Zero is just a very good card. It's flexible. It does a lot of things well. And then if you go over to the 17 lands data, and you go Divide by Zero, you see that it's average taken around 5th pick and that its win percentage when you have it in your hand is 59.2. Now, 17 lands data users are a little bit higher than other players. So the average site-wide is 54.6. So this means that average players that play this card get like a 5% boost from their normal win percentage or their average win percentage, which is a pretty big thing. For Professor of Symbology, oh my gosh, Symbology, it's 62.3%. So it's just a massive bump by playing a very innocuous looking card. So I may be referring to that on some of the picks just because it's really interesting to look at, in my opinion. And it might be hard to read, but that's just how it goes sometimes. I'll try to make sure everything is clear. But we're going to take the Divide by Zero. They don't go in the same deck, but I'm still willing to read the signals and figure out what's open. Here, we'll just take another Divide by Zero. Again, it's a very good card. Professor of Zoomancy is actually a very good card as well. And it could be a nice signal that blue-green is open. Professor of Zoomancy is actually a very underrated comment on a lot of these metrics. Since we're going to take Divide by Zero, I might as well say my next pick would be the Zoomancy Professor. I'm not going to say that you should rely on this data exclusively, but Professor of Zoomancy has really impressive stats. 59.1 is really high for a common, and just kind of a neat thing that I've noticed by looking at that sort of data. I figure if I use it for my approach, then it might help you folks out as well. It's also free to use 17 lands, by the way. Creative Outburst is also really good. Works well with the Divide by Zero plan. Professor of Symbology doesn't really fit as well, but we don't need everything to fit perfectly. This is just the best card in the pack by a mile. Next best is like Fractal Summoning just for the sideboard. So easy Creative Outburst. And now I will say that Arcane Subtraction scores relatively highly on that chart that I was showing you, especially considering that it's like on average taken like 11th pick. So I will say that. Here, I think I'm going to take Serpentine Curve. I already have a couple of spells. I could take Inkling Summoning if I do go back towards white-black. I guess 4th pick Creative Outburst is not too much of a signal, and I only give up on a Serpentine Curve. It's tough. Inkling Summoning is really good for the decks that want it, but I think Serpentine Curve is good too. Jay Rolla, thank you so much for the subscription. I appreciate that. 3 months in a row. Very appreciated. So now we get Practical Research, and it looks like blue-red is where we want to be. There's another Inkling Summoning. Also some decent white-black cards. Arcane Subtraction again. Enthusiastic Study. This card really overperforms, so if we get some of those back, we'll be pretty happy with that. Oh yeah, we're happy with where we're at. Thanks, J. Rolla. Getting another creative outburst is exactly where we want to be. And at this point, we're putting the blinders on. We're going to play blue-red no matter what. And just hope for the best. I do like Academic Dispute. It does a lot of things well. Elemental Summoning is also really good for this sort of deck. Works great with Divide by Zero because we already have that. LSV is very high on Academic Dispute, and I can see why. The card is quite good. Elemental Summoning is also nice, though. I think I'm going to take the Dispute, though. I like getting a cheap spell. Wow, Elemental Masterpiece Wield. That card is really good. We're just going to be casting Haymaker after Haymaker once we get to the top end. Which means that I probably would really like to get Environmental Sciences as a lesson to go get. But Masterpiece is excellent. I think I've been over-prioritizing the campuses. I do like them. And now we'll take the Biblioplex. Look at our deck. We're all instants and sorceries, so the Biblioplex essentially is very good in our deck. I've actually played with this card. It feels very good in the late game when you have this and you just start churning away. I'm pretty happy with the Serpentine Curve pick as well. And we get a Fractal Summoning. So getting a Fractal Summoning is arguably even better than the Elemental Summoning because we can just cast it for massive amounts. We don't really need the Ogier Battleseer, and so we'll just get that. And now we have one lesson to go get. This one's not very good, unfortunately. Letter of Acceptance can sometimes be okay, though. I don't like Resculpt at all. I tried playing it, and it was horrific. Ooh, see, look. Second to last pick, and this card's pretty good. You subscribed, and it didn't get a notice. Maybe you subscribed off-stream, J-Lil, or it just hasn't popped up yet. Befuddler, I've played a little bit, but I've never been impressed by it. Okay. So in this pack, there is a Kasmina Enigma Sage, which is definitely a reasonable card, but it's a bit of a tough ask on a splash because part of the reason it's good is because you can cast it on turn 3, so I don't like to splash it. I think Snow Day's pretty good. Quandrix Pledge Mage can do good work in this sort of deck. Teach by Example is probably going to wheel, and it could work well with some of our cards. But I like just getting Snow Day, I think, over Pledge Mage. Pledge Mage is nice. It's hard to cast, but it is nice, especially in this deck that's all creatures. The problem is I'm not really a beatdown deck, and so if I play this card, it's going to be tough to untap, and this can really help me if I need to stall out the game and stuff. Okie doke. Could this be a Grinning Ignis deck? It can ramp me from 5 mana up to 7, and I have a lot of 7s. You've got the little notification, you've got the little badge, J-Lil, so I think it went through. I think that Arcane Subtraction is way better than Grinning Ignis, but because we already have so many expensive things, and because Arcane Subtraction we got one second to last pick, it's likely that we can wheel it. There's also a Flunk, but it's really hard to splash black in blue-red because none of the dual lands help you with it. So I think I'm just going to take Grinning Ignis over the Arcane Subtraction because I think I can wheel the Subtraction. We're seeing some good green cards. Devouring Tendrils is better than Fortifying Drought, but this card's really good. There's a Breakthrough. There's a Teach by Example. We only really want one copy of that, though, if any. Solve the Equation actually performed better than I think. And if you have a really good card to go get, we don't really have anything too game-ending, but we also don't really need anything. I guess we could take Teach by Example. We have a lot of spells. So doubling up on a Divide by Zero could be good. Strategic Planning's okay if you really just need to find stuff to do. There's another Grinning Ignis. I don't really like the Grinning Ignis. I might not even play it. Reject is really bad. We'll just smooth our draw out. Prismari Command is nice. Yeah, but it's not really a great curve play. We still need to get 2 drops. Academic Dispute is good. Prismari Command, though, I like because it can help us ramp up to these big finishers by getting us a treasure. So most likely we're going to kill something and get a treasure. Academic Dispute. Still reasonable, but we don't have any lessons, really, to go get at the moment. And now Pillar. Drop Warden is a nice defensive body that can help us stabilize till we get to the late game. I've actually been pretty impressed by Negate, but I'm going to take Spirit Summoning. Currently, we only have one lesson, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Because we have 4 learn cards. We have time to find more. Negate is pretty nice. Just going to take the Spirit Summoning, though. I need to make sure I get enough of those types of things. Another Elemental Masterpiece. I think right now I'm actually playing this Letter of Acceptance because I have so many 7-drops that are all very good. Curate's actually a very high win rate card as well. It wheeled as suspected. Blood Age General is horrific. I tried playing with that one too. We can't really justify Enthusiastic Study. This Serpentine curve is looking good though. Here in the draft too, the 6 at 6. Nice. Planning works well with... Oh, that's what you meant with the curve. It is a good combo with that card. So we have 2 creatures. One of which is this guy, one of which is a Grinning Ignis. That we probably aren't going to play. Biblioplex Assistant, not my biggest favorite card. Is a mini combo with the Biblioplex. We're probably going to play 18 lands, just because we have so many massive spells. Oh my god, we got Rutha. Rutha is so good. Such a beating. Hello, Raven? I don't know. It's a weird comment to leave. I do like Elemental Summoning. I forget what we took over it the first time, but I maybe regret that. I think I took Academic Dispute over it. But Ruth is just super good. Easily the pick here. Every time my opponent untaps with this card, I feel like I'm going to lose. And I usually do. Okay, Prismari Pledge Mage. We just need 2 drops. And this is a really good one. Works with the Academic Dispute that we have. Defends us. I would like to get this Fractal Summoning, but I just have to take a 2-drop. And now I get a Spirit Summoning again. Oh, never mind. I'm taking Spectacle Mage. This card's really good in my deck. Ugh. I do not have that many lessons. Again, just a curve consideration. Elemental Masterpiece is great, but I already have 2 of them. Bury in Books is great, but I just need a 2-drop. So this is 26 cards right now. Probably don't need to solve the equation. It's just a little bit clunky for a deck that's already clunky, and I don't have anything too overwhelming to go get. This guy's not that good either. I'm going to run 18 lands in this deck. The Biblioplex really helps me incentivize that as well. Probably only run 1 Teach by Example. So currently this is the deck list I'm playing, I think. Wow, we got another Rutha. Easily taking that. Now we don't need Teach by Example. We already have some copying in a much better way. So now this is the deck. The Ignis is actually okay. No, I haven't. Fair. Wow, Serpentine Curve is so good in our deck. I like Curate, but, I mean, we have some stuff. We have strategic planning. And Serpentine Curve is just, like, absurd. Not that hard to copy, either. I'm not the best. There's players that are better. Maybe weird to admit that, but it's not weird at all because there's obviously players that are better, but still. There are definitely players that are better than me. I'm trying to improve, though. I've been trying to get better. Like, I've been actively, like, practicing and studying stuff, and heck yes, environmental sciences is really good here. So now I have 1, 2, 3 lessons to go get. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 learn cards. That's decent. Oh, thanks, Fair. I'm just going to jam this guy into the deck. We have a lot of 7 drops, but we're just going to start jamming them when the late game. We need to come up with another cut now. Pop quiz is nice. We're just going to take Curate, though. Curate just helps us find our stuff easier. We already have 2 arcane subtractions. Pop quiz is reasonable, but this card's just going to do the same thing for cheaper. Yeah, you can get a lot of arcane subtractions. Probably not going to play all of them. Then I'm going to cut 2 arcane subtractions. So this is 17 lands. And now this is perfect. I can learn to discard, I know that. With all these top-end cards, we definitely want to play 18. We also have Biblioplex to help us not flood. This is our mana ramp. We don't need the Letter of Acceptance as much, or we don't really want Grinning Ignis. Arcane Subtraction doesn't work as well when we're more defensive and don't have as many creatures anyway. So yeah, we're going to play it like this. The deck looks great to me. I'm really excited to try it out, and I'll see you folks in the matches. Before I get to the matches, I want to give a huge shout out to all of the patrons who support me and my work over at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas, and special thanks to those who support me at the credits level. It is thanks to Patreon support that I'm able to continue improving the quality of my videos and that I am able to produce as many videos as I do. As my way of saying thank you to patrons, there are a host of cool little rewards, noteworthily the reward that gives you access to my card-by-card grade spreadsheet for Strixhaven, and then there's also rewards like being put in the credits and even coaching for the higher tiers. Thank you so much to all of my patrons, and without further ado, let's get to the matches. Welcome to round 1. We will keep this hand. I generally don't mulligan a lot of hands, and this one's no exception. It's got some stuff to do. They're off to a slow start. I approve. It's been fun, Pillow. I'm going to do this because I want to go get my extra land from my sideboard. And remember, I do want to get all my cards out in case I draw the thing later. That's okay. So next turn I'm going to jam this. And we're not going to attack because that would mean we couldn't play this thing next turn for sure. Sure. Got there. We're in good shape though. Okay, that's a good card. I'm gonna make an 8/8 next turn. Actually a 9/9 because I'm gonna make this first. Got the win. Okay, it'll move. it shouldn't stay at that number. Yep, we went up to 1169. This deck is really good. I like it a lot. This is a deck that could go 7-0. And it's nice to have decks like that because that's really how you climb in Mythic. So I actually have not a lot of spells right now, but I have 2-drop, 3-drop, so I can't complain at all. It's really hard to kill Rutha is what I found. We're going to get this guy out to block the Sage. Okay. I might just throw in the double block here. What could they have? Fortifying Draught. They could have -4, -0. -4, -0 is not even that bad for me because they'd probably kill Rutha. What's my plan if I don't double block here? Is to double block next turn with Pillar Drop and Pledge Mage. They could have +2/+2 at the uncommon for green. They could have big play, which really wrecks me too. I need to draw a land real bad to jam this thing. Oh, man, that's tough. That is tough. I need to go land, I think. I'm just going to take 7 here. I think making a chump blocker for this doesn't do enough. And then stalling them by tapping their stuff could do it enough. They did use counter spell, so maybe they have another counter spell. They didn't cast this, which means they have to have something. What are they casting on my end step? Okay, that's okay. That's tough. So those things don't untap during their next untap stuff. So I have a bit of a reprieve. Okay, now I have one more turn. That was my last turn of reprieve. No! Oh! Rats! Oh, that's a bummer. That's an ouch. That was an ouch. Gosh darn it. Oh, it was going to be such an epic comeback. Slowly grinding them out. Gosh darn it. That's how it goes sometimes, though. The turn 2 Bayou Groff was tough. I have 2 divide by zeros that would have been good. Awesome, Husum. So we're back where we started a little bit. We go first. This into this is a really good start. We're going to lead with Mountain in case we draw our 2-drop. That needs red-blue hybrid mana. They're going to draw. I'm going to draw. This is a late game battle here. I don't want to trade my guys off, though, because it'll make a lot of my stuff cheaper. That's really appealing. Copying Prismari command. Yeah, I'm going to do that. It's not as mana efficient, but I think it's better. Because next turn I can copy the Prismari command. Do some really nasty stuff. Depending on what they play here. Odd Jobs, thanks for the subscription. I appreciate it. I could also copy Divide by 0. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's just going to win me the game. Kill both your guys, make 2 treasures. Make sure I play my land first. That's huge. Gonna try to hit land drops. Beautiful. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can copy it next turn. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because it may cost 1 less from that. Oh yeah, they're so dead. They're so dead. Ruth is such a beating. If they don't kill Rutha here, they're just dead. Oh yeah. I don't have any more expensive spells in my hand. And if I do draw one, I can already cast it. It's going pretty well, Cabner. Looks like we're about to win. I'm not going to copy this one. Ruth is so good. Ruth is just not even remotely fair. It does not feel close to being close when you have Rutha in play. This deck having 2 is unreal. So yeah, we're back in the top 1200. This deck is really performing well. We lost a really nail-biting game. But other than that, I think I've been pretty happy with how I've been playing it out as well. Okay, so whenever you get matched up against someone higher up than you in the standings, it's usually pretty good for ranking up and stuff. Okay. On the draw. I'm going to keep it. We have a lot of expensive stuff. Depending on the matchup, it could be bad. Of course, this is a Silver Quill opponent. Why wouldn't it be? Yikes. Oh, no, it's a slower deck, maybe. And wrong again. We will get rid of Element. And we'll get rid of Creative Outburst. Just need to have a blocker. They're doing something slower, which is nice. We can always buy this thing back later if we can afford it, mana-wise. So now we have a blocker for there, a blocker there. It's all about just trying to survive here. Yep, hand's pretty good, buddy. Hand is pretty immune to your Humiliate. Obviously, I would like to have the practical research, but it is by no means necessary. Weird place to put the counter. That's a pretty good draw. Just a nice little bit of trickery for if they have something and they don't know it's in my hand, and they're probably not going to play around it either. And it can go get a land drop for me. And starting next turn, I'm just going to be jamming over and over. Massive 4/4s if I draw a land. And then Pillar Drop Warden can get me back my cards once I've run out. Ouch. Pains me. Interesting. So if they tap out, I'll probably destroy their artifact and make a treasure. because that makes this thing a little bit more manageable. It's only a 4/4 now, or a 5/5 potentially. No need to use the treasure if it's not necessary. I'm surprised they didn't play the fractal summoning. There's some trickery afoot. Why wouldn't you play fractal summoning? It would be a 5/5. Okay, there it is. So now I just need an answer to Spectre of the Fens. This is a problem. At the time, when I thought I was playing against just Silverquill, I liked keeping as many of the 4/4s as I could. Because Silverquill can't beat 4/4s very easily. But now that I know that it's like some crazy 4/5 color brew, I'm much less inclined and happy about the fact that I didn't keep the explosive. Big draw. And I am just dead. Actually, no, I'm not. If I draw Academic Dispute, I can give my guy reach. Or I could draw Divide by 0. So they can eat this 4/4, but they take 14. It's another 23. It's not going to matter. That's tough. What outs did we have? We don't really have removal for small creatures. That's the weakness of our deck. So we couldn't really deal with flyers there. Oh, that's a painful moment. If we'd kept the explosive outburst, we would have been fine. But they had... Not only did they have just some crazy 5-color control pile that we didn't know about, but then they also had Swords to Plowshares to kill our Pillar Drop Warden. I guess we needed to prioritize Pillar Drop a little higher. Kidoke. Another round. Another attempt to get some victories. I don't think my losses were there were anything I could have done differently, really. Maybe the loss that I lost to their snow day, but I think I'm going to lose to snow day in that spot and just accept that and just try to build up my board, keep myself alive if I can. Hall monitor. So something hyper aggressive maybe. Wow, that's so much worse than doing it the turn after, because now you just draw one card. If you do it the following turn, then you can play the land from exile and you get extra value. You certainly don't need a land. This is going to be a 4/4 in a couple turns. If they replay this, I'm in good shape, yeah. I don't think this card's very good. I did lose to it earlier today. Probably going to lose to it here. I've just drawn 9 lands. No, I didn't stream it earlier today. Jeez Louise. I'm never going to get empty-handed. I guess I'm going to lose to Strixhaven Stadium here. I'm just dead. I think the deck was pretty good. That's just how it goes sometimes. Deck went 2 and 3. I think it was definitely better than that, but maybe I just don't know what I'm talking about. I feel like every card in the deck is pretty high quality. And yeah, sometimes you just draw all of your lands in the top half of your deck. That is going to do it for this draft video, though. If you were watching on YouTube and made it all the way to the end, remember to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment with your questions, thoughts, and feedback. If you did make it all the way to the end, leave hashtag ridiculous Rutha, because we did do some pretty crazy things with the Rutha. Remember to check out the Twitch stream live at twitch.tv/NicolaiBolas. If you'd like to support my work on Patreon, you can do so at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas, or you can check... if you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe to my Twitch stream for free by linking the two accounts and using Prime Gaming subscription on my stream. So at no extra cost to yourself, you can support my work. You can also check out the Discord server, my articles, all that stuff linked in the description and pinned comment down below. That's going to do it for this draft video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you next time.